Today we will discuss chapter number 8, Respiration in Living Organism, part 3. Breathing in other animals. Number 1, amoeba. In unicellular organisms such as amoeba, paramecium, exchange of gases take place by diffusion through the cell membrane. As you know that amoeba is a single cell organism which live in fresh water. It takes in oxygen present in the water and give out carbon dioxide through its plasma membrane by diffusion. Next, breathing in earthworm. Earthworm live in moist soil, so they breathe by simply diffusion through their skin. They do not have any special respiratory organ as their skin is very thin, moist and permeable to gases. So the gas exchange between the blood and the external environment occurs through their skin. You can see in this picture also that they have cut cross section, that they have capillaries. Through these capillaries, oxygen from the atmosphere diffuses into the blood and the carbon dioxide from the blood diffuses out to the atmosphere through this moist skin. Now, respiration in insects and frog. First, insect like grasshopper, cockroach have a respiratory system consists a network of thin air tubes called tracheae. You can see there are network of tubes in first picture spread into the whole body of the insect, and these air tubes have tiny opening called spiracles on the side of their body. You can see in this picture small holes are there in both pictures. They are known as spiracles. Oxygen rich air enter the body through these spiracles. This air now goes into the trachea, diffuse into the body and reaches every cell of the body. Oxygen is used to break down the food and produce energy and carbon dioxide. Then carbon dioxide from the cell goes into these tubes and moves out of the body through the spiracles. Second is the frog. Frog lives both on land and in water. Frogs have a pair of lungs like human beings to breathe on land, and in water they breathe through their moist skin. When on land, they respire through their lungs, while on or near water, they respire through their moist skin by the diffusion of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Tadpoles, young frogs, live in water and use gills to respire. Respiration in birds and fish. Birds also breathe with the help of lungs present in their chest cavity, and they have air filled sac, you can see in this picture, which extended from their lungs. These sacs help in breathing and also make their body lighter, which help them to fly. When the air cell occupy the space within the body, help to reduce the weight as well as the air in this sac move into the lungs. When the word exhale, allow the lungs to be filled with large volume air. So the air which enter through the lungs, then in interior air sac, then out of the body. Gills, water flow through the mouth, then over the gills where oxygen is removed and carbon dioxide and water are pumped out through the operculum. Operculum, you can see there here, which water and carbon dioxide are pumped out through this part, and the gill which contain thousands of filaments that absorb oxygen from the water, and through the mouth water flow in, and fish and mussels pump the water into the gills. So fish have a special organ for breathing called the gills, found on both sides of its head. The fish breathes by taking in water through its mouth and sending in over the gills. Gills supplied with blood vessels and extract dissolved oxygen from this water and sent to all parts of the body. And carbon dioxide is brought back by the blood into the gills and expelling into the surrounding waters. Respiration in plants. Like animals, plants also respire for their survival. They get energy by the breakdown of the food they produce. The plant get energy by the process of respiration, in which glucose that prepared by them break down in the presence of oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water with the release of energy. Plants take in oxygen from the air and give out carbon dioxide during respiration. So number 1 is root. Root take up oxygen from the air present between the soil particles by the process of diffusion. You can see that they having the roots and root hair between soil particles. Oxygen is also present. The root hair present on the root help the plant in oxygen because they are very extremely thin and cell wall around them, and secondly their surface area is very large. Like other living cell of the plant, root cell also need oxygen to generate energy. The roots of the plant have very large number of tiny hairs. You can see in these pictures on them are called root hair. Air is present between the particles of soil and the root hair are in contact with this air which is present in the soil particles. Oxygen diffuses into the root hair and reaches all the cell of the root where it is utilized in respiration, and carbon dioxide produced during respiration goes out through the root hair by the process of diffusion. Stem. You can see these two pictures that stem can perform gas exchange. They are having the holes which is known as stomata like leaves, but on woody stem these stomata leaves white mark called lenticles. So the stem of herbs have stomata for exchange of gases and carbon dioxide, and the hard and woody stem of big plants and trees have lenticles for gases exchange. So lenticle is a tiny opening on the bark where the cells are loosely packed and have space allowing the exchange of gases. Already learnt in chapter 1 that the leaves of the plant have tiny pores called stomata for exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. So each pore is surrounded by a pair of guard cell, and guard cell can change the shape to open and close the stomata. You can see in this picture. When photosynthesis is not taking place in a plant for respiration, the atmospheric oxygen diffuses in through the stomata and passes into the leaves. When the amount of carbon dioxide increases in these cells, the stomata open to release it into the atmosphere, and when the oxygen absorbed by the cell is used in respiration and carbon dioxide diffuse out. But when photosynthesis is taking place, so the carbon dioxide is used up by the plant.